The international break is finally over and Arsenal will be playing against Brentford at their home ground. The lineup is a bit different than usual today. Finally, we're seeing Ramsdale get a start, obviously, because Brentford, I believe Raya can't play them because he's on loan and it would have been included. So we're getting to see Ramsdale, possibly one of his last Premier League starts for Arsenal, considering how things seem to be going for him. He does not seem to be in favour with Mikel. It's not looking good for Ramsdale. Maybe he can possibly improve his stock in the Arsenal team with the performance today, but it's feeling very unlikely that he will be a mainstay in the future. The back line, Zinchenko, obviously he had a fantastic game against, who was it that we played? Burnley, he had a fantastic game, obviously great goal. Saliba and Gabriel, pretty standard, nothing really needs to be said there. Ben White does sit this one out. I'm going to presume for like an injury or something, or maybe, no, not an injury, fitness I'm going to say, or maybe an injury. And Tomiyasu's in the back four. Well, I really liked Tomiyasu last year, and I thought he was possibly getting phased out of the team this year, obviously with the signing of Timber, who we've hardly seen. But as it is, he's in the team, he's been in good form, so I have no worries about that. The midfield is where things get interesting. Declan Rice is sitting at the base of the midfield, where we assumed he would be mainly for Arsenal, but in the past few games with the Ødegaard injury, of course, we have seen Jorginho in that role. But he is Rice there, solid, obviously great lungs, great athlete, strong, exactly kind of DM that I like in my team. You know, the technical kind of Pirlo mould is nice, but for me, I like a defensive midfielder who is strong in attack, you know, a bit of a bully, if that makes sense, you know, obviously not literally, but in terms of on the pitch. Obscurely, we have Trossard at left 8, which is something we haven't really seen. I think we debated it last season because he obviously has the skill. He's a very versatile player and usually play on the wings or up front for us, but has the capability to drop deep to link up the play. So see how he can do from the left 8 will be interesting. I think it will work well in terms of, you know, rotating positions. He has a positional awareness and understands the system for that. But maybe it'll be more his defensive duties because the left 8 tends to be a bit more of a defensive option. On the right 8, Captain Martin Ødegaard is back in the team. We've missed him. I feel like his his eye for a pass. We've been lacking it. We haven't been great in the attacking third recently. I know we did just score, I think, 3 against Burnley, but that has felt like a bit of a weakness for us recently, our tight interplay. And the wings, obviously Martinelli and Saka seems to be our 2 key players. That's the key to this system at the moment, is hitting them wings and making opportunities from there. Hopefully they will be in good form. I don't doubt they will be. And Jesus is leading the line. For these next few games, we've got some, not necessarily easy, but some easier fixtures than what they could be. Teams lower in the table, so we really need to be taking maximum points from this opposition. And I think Jesus' link up, if he can start, I know shooting isn't his strong point, but he has scored some pretty decent goals this season, and if he can find the back of the net in these next few games, then things will be looking up for us. Brentford can be quite solid defensively, but then they've also got Mbeumo on the counter. No Tony, of course, because of his betting issues, but they're still a decent team. I'm going to go for a 2-1. I think we'll go up. Then they'll get a counter-attack goal, and then we'll take another goal back. 0-0 at half-time, not the first half I was hoping for. Ramsdale, as much as it was a performance to maybe prove himself, has definitely looked like he's been feeling the pressure early on, almost gifting Brentford a goal. Rice on the line to save him is embarrassment. And then there's a throw. He just throws it straight into the ground. It's really childish stuff, to be honest. Not what you'd be expecting from a professional keeper. He did have some decent passes, and I feel like the defenders were trying to get his confidence back up by giving him the ball to get some passes going, but it's not looking good for Ramsdale. I don't think he will ever be back in the number 1, although I felt like this was already decided. Apart from that, too slow. Way too slow. Brentford have a solid defensive shape, and when we're playing these teams, when we have an opportunity, when we catch them out of position, for example, there was a chance where we stopped them attacking. Saka has it, he's driving, and then we just slow it down too much, and they're able to drop back into their positions. We need to zip the ball and just get some shots off. We did get a goal at the end of the first half, which was ruled out for offside. I did think when it first went in, I thought it would be offside, just how the players were positioned and where the defenders were. It was tight, and when I saw the replay, I actually didn't think it was offside, but hey, that's how it goes. So 0-0, but faster, moves the ball faster. Ødegaard he felt kind of invisible. He hasn't really been in the game, to be honest. Just a little thing on Rice and DM. He's kind of like the backboard of a basketball thing. Like, you know, they pass it back and he just keeps the tempo going, and he's been quite good at that. And so I feel like he's really getting to grips with the tactics, and yeah, he's playing well. But other than that, like I said, Trossard got the goal, by the way. Trossard's been decent, but no real chances. Jesus has struggled to get into the game. He's had a couple shots, but most of them deflected. Nothing really clear cut. What I want to see in the second half is us just moving the ball faster and getting the goals. That's it. See you at full time. What a way to end the game. A goal in the last 5 minutes sees us go to the top of the table after the draw between City and Liverpool earlier. This was by no means a fantastic performance by us. We were definitely below par. We didn't test their keeper enough. We weren't doing enough things, but we still managed to get the points, and that's what matters at the end of the day, is the result when the whistle is blown at the end of the game, and we walk away with a win. Second half, let's start with Ramsdale. Obviously, I was a bit worried about Ramsdale. I thought, considering he's not even going to be someone continuing in the team, if he is a reason we lose, it's going to look really bad. But if this is the last game he starts for us, then it's absolutely fine. He's kept a clean sheet. The second half, he was much better, much more calm, composed, found some good passes, was confident with the ball. In the last minute or so, there was a big, one of the deep crosses from Brentford, and they got some tall guys. So I was worried, because I was like, oh no, please, not now. And Ramsdale, he comes, he claims it, and he holds it, and there's a few more minutes to play. But when that happened, I was pretty happy. I thought that was it. I thought we'd won then. Jesus never really got into the game. He was struggling. He went out to the wing a few times, but nothing of note particularly. Nketiah comes on. There's a moment which I thought might have been the moment where we get a break on the left-hand side. I think it's like a 3-on-2. Saka peels into the inside, and Nketiah goes for the shot, and when he took the shot, I was like, that's a weird pass. That was a pretty shit pass. And then I realised it's a shot, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? Because Saka is right there. He's right there in the middle, and it's an easy pass and probably an easy goal. But that's not what happened, as it turned out. But we continue, we keep pushing and pushing and pressing and pressing, and then we sub off Martinelli for Kai Havertz. Now, I wasn't expecting to see Kai Havertz in this game, but I'm definitely happy I did. As, I've always had faith in the play. You've seen the video. And today was the day. He finally got his first goal. Saka whips it to the back stick. It feels like it's in the air forever. And then who's there at the back of the nod it in? It's Kai Havertz. Gets his first goal, nutmegs the keeper. Oh, a little celebration, and it was great after that, to be honest. The mood perked up. I was feeling great. It kind of just came out of nowhere, it felt like, because we've been crossing all game and no one would be getting onto it. And this is one of the things I thought Havertz was brought in for, was the back stick, header in, the run there, and he's finally got it. After he scored for Germany, obviously from left back, maybe now that's all he needed. Maybe he just needed something to get going, to know he can score. He needed the bit of the confidence boost, like I said, and that's 2 in a row now. That's 2 consecutive games that he scored goals, I'm pretty sure. Who knows? Maybe he gets another in the next game. But he's off the mark from, in open play. And now he's here. He's arrived. I'm confident now that it's only up from here for Havertz. I do think maybe he needs to bulk up a bit. For one of the first interactions he had on the pitch, got bullied off the ball by the centre-backs. And obviously I understand centre-backs are usually more based around strength when you think about positions and stuff. But it's no excuse. Like, even just looking at the people in their shirts, obviously I understand he's taller, so he's going a bit lankier. I can understand that myself. But still, everything was a bit too baggy. I'd like him to put on a bit like Fabio Vieira. I'd like him to put on a bit of size, just so he's a bit more robust in the challenge. Ødegaard was still quite disappointing, I felt, in the second half. He was still I was a bit unfair on him, maybe. He was involved because he's, doing the thing where he runs in and lays it off to Saka, and then Saka crosses it. But there wasn't any real standout moments from Ødegaard, I feel like. I feel like he was producing at the end of last season, where he was getting the goal, or he was finding that last pass. There wasn't any of that in this game, and I understand he's his first game back, so he's going to need to work his way into it. I don't think he played the full 90, but he got most of the game. I have no worries about him. It just wasn't a great performance from the captain today. Zinchenko did get the full 90 minutes, which is obviously surprising since he doesn't usually get that. And there was actually another moment that I forgot to talk about. Quick location changes. My light ran out of charge, and I don't actually know where my the light I bought from Amazon is. I've managed to lost it. It's somewhere in my room, but I just wanted to finish the video quick. So the moment I forgot to talk about, before the goal, we're 0-0. They get a chance. Zinchenko loses possession of the ball. Brentford work it into the box. Neil Maupay, I didn't even know he played for them. Obviously, we all hate him from the Brighton days. It ends up to him. He heads it across goal, and it's going in. Ramsdale's in the back of the net already. No way he's saving it. And there's Zinchenko managing to make up for his mistake with the inside of his thigh. Fantastic block, and then they put it wide. Nothing comes from it. I was gonna call the video "Living on the Edge" because I'm usually thinking of the name of the video as the match is on. But after the Kai Havertz goal, of course, I was gonna name it something related to that. So even with a performance that was under par, a performance that was not at our best, we've made the most of an opportunity. The draw between City and Liverpool sees us go top of the table with a 1-0 win over Brentford. Havertz is off the mark for Arsenal with his first goal, and things are looking good, man. Even in these days when we're bad, we're still managing to find a result, which is how champions operate. That's what I like to see, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe and like the video and share.